with credit, but mainly also without credit, because there's a lot of options for you to be able to buy a house without credit. So again, it's smashed about at least six figures. I'm gonna do a tour of this one here. This one has what they call let me see the name of it. It actually has like two different houses in one. So this one has two different houses in one. It's called a next gen. So it's called a next gen. So if you're a Gen X, if you're a Gen Z, millennial, say you have a two or three families or whatever, this one has two different houses in one. So it's called a next gen. So hold on real quick. Let me see what we got here. Okay, cool. Gotcha. It's called a next gen. Put that on here. So it's called a next gen, and next gens just give you options of having, it's like two different properties in one. So let's talk about as far as how to get a house without credit. Now, as you know, I talk to you guys all the time, but I'm always called, it's called repetition, is the mother and father learning. So when I bought my first house, I originally had like a 480 score, right? I had a 480 score. And luckily I was hanging around, I was working in Newport Beach. I was working around rich people, wealthy people, people with yachts, boats, people with a whole lot of time, people who normally didn't have a 9 to 5. And I was working for a technology company at the time. And so I would get people to come into our center, and, obviously because of my energy, my swag, whatever it was, I started to attract a lot of people who had money, with small conversations, and they want to take me out to lunch and talk about, other things, because I would do things for them. This is the thing that I would do. Even though they were in there to purchase something, or sign up with something, or what have you, I never tried to just get money from everybody. Oh, let me sell you on something. If I can help that person, and it was going to be whether it's under warranty or just me doing them a favor, giving, world-class customer service, I did it. And rich people look at that as like, man, this guy's not trying to charge me every chance he's get. He's literally trying to save me money. And they had a substantial amount of money. So to them, me trying to save them money when I didn't have to, showed them what type of person I was, or my character to them. So I had a lot of character currency. So they would say, hey, come to lunch with us. Come to lunch with me. Hey, after work, what are you doing? I'm gonna hang out with you. So I would make these rich friends because I wasn't trying to charge them up and get money all the damn time. And if I could help them, I would. So lo and behold, talking to these people or being around these type of people helped me starting to see life in a different lens. You know what I mean? I stopped getting out of the current 9 to 5 lens, and then I started to get into different lenses. Now I'm gonna continue this conversation, but I want you guys to see that this place here. This place is called I want to say it has a next gen. So this has two different houses in one. So if you're multifamily, if you have you know two or three families in one or whatever, which there's a lot of that going on, especially with foreigners. So I'm gonna show you guys in here. So this where this stops the door. So this door right here, as you can see, this door is a completely different house. So let's go in so you guys can see it. So in here, you guys can see, look, it's a completely different house. Let's see, it has let's see what it has. A bedroom in here. Nice little bedroom in here. And then it also has a small living room. So this is like a little 1 bedroom condo inside of a house. Has its own little bathroom. And then it has the doors, where you can close that up right here. So I'm gonna go now. Right in here is where it starts the main house. So right in here, so see, it has the main house, of course. You guys can see it's super nice, super duper nice. And then this is the master bedroom. As you can see, this is the master bedroom. Now this is pretty big. I'm gonna show you guys. It goes all the way around. His and her closets. Y'all see the Master Bob hats? Her closet. This is the master bathroom, where I do all my business in there. And then this is where, of course, we're gonna have our washers and dryers put in here. So again, right back in here is another bedroom, as you can see. So this is just one side of the house. This is another bathroom. So again, there's a master bedroom again. I'm gonna go in here, and then we're gonna go here. This is a whole nother place inside of the place. So in here, see, is a whole nother living room, a whole nother, this is like a 1 bedroom condo inside of this house. So it's called a next gen. So it's called a next gen because it has 2 different houses in one. So again, you can rent one out, Airbnb. This part right here can be Airbnb'd out for probably 15 to 2,300 a month. The mortgage is about, hey, most of it. Living, that whole big other side of the house, which is this side of the house, I could be living almost rent free. Now, if I get a nurse or if I get some sort of somebody who can, short-term leasing agreement, I can probably rent it out for the maximum amount of money. You know what I mean? And where this part is pretty much rent-free. So this again has two different units in one. So let's put this here because I want to talk to you guys about some details. Now, how do you get approved for something like this with no money down or with no credit? Now, we're going to talk about how to get this place with zero credit. First, we're going to talk about how to get it with credit and then without credit. So with credit, if you never bought a house before, of course, there's something called a first-time buyers program, which most people can qualify in all states. And the first-time buyer program allows you to put, I think, between 1% and 3% down. And there's government assistance to get help with that down payment on other things. But again, you're gonna have to put 1% to 3% down if you're a first-time home buyer. And now this place right here is, let's see, it starts in the $640,000 range. Let's see. Cool. So 640,000 for this one. This upwards at 2,600 square feet. So you don't really have to have credit crazily to get this. Now, an example how I get approved of this on my private setups, which is something that I don't use as far as that doesn't use my social security number. I have a separate credit file that's legally issued to me called my private setup. Most lenders, and especially if you go with the builder's lender, they only ask you for 1 year's of tax return. So as you know, on the private setups or legal, credit profiles, on the legal ones, you're able to file your taxes on it, right? So I've obviously I filed last year's taxes. Boom, I produce a tax return. Of course, my credit score just has to be, I think, 660 and above, but I'm actually close to 800. I was actually 810, 812. I got bumped down to like 760. It's the name of the game, but that's how you get approved. So with a small amount of money down, which is between 1% and 3% down, you can get into a place. Now, I'm gonna get into the details of getting it with credit. Let's talk about getting it. Let me see here. Okay, let's talk about getting it without credit. So without credit, there's something called, if you go, an example, go into CREXI. So go Google CREXI, and you're gonna look for properties that are what they call owner financing. So, and again, properties that's been on the market 6, 7, 8 months and haven't sold, and they have options of owner financing, you don't necessarily have to have credit, right? Here's what you need. You need to find a buyer, or I'm sorry, you need to find a seller that's desperate to sell the home, possibly in foreclosure, or just, whether they're people who want to retire and all these things. Is understand there's a lot of retirement community right now who's getting ready to retire or pass on or a bunch of different things. So you find these people who need to get rid of this house or move or retire or whatever it is, and you understand that they have owner financing. That means the owner is gonna, the house is probably already paid off, and the owner is willing to owner finance you that property, so he won't, because it'll be a tax write-off for that owner. You know what I mean? Instead of selling it to you or doing certain things to you, he can owner finance it, basically in-house finance it to you, of course, based on your employment, based on your income and things of that nature. So just because you don't have any credit don't mean that you won't get approved. Long as your employment history, and you can possibly put a certain amount down, obviously with no credit, which, you probably want to put a little bit more down if possible. Or if that seller is willing to work out something with you, you can get into a nice fancy house with no credit. So in the mentorships, in the classes, we get into the details of what to do and how to do those type of things. But over the years, again, when I first bought my first property, as I mentioned, when I first bought my first property, I was able, with a 480 credit score. I think in January I had a 480 credit score. By the time June hit around, I had like a 740, if I'm not mistaken. I think my highest bureau was TransUnion. So, but I had an average of about a 740. And I overnight learned how to do things on my credit, fix my credit, all this stuff by using laws, because I was in law school at the time, also real estate school, a bunch of stuff. And I learned all kinds of stuff. So the question is, again, when you want to buy a home, you know, you're just going to have to really take some time, take it serious, and figure out where you are today. So the first thing you want to do when you want to buy a home, if you're going to do it by yourself, or if you're going to do it with your partner, or with your business partner or family members. Remember, multiple families can buy homes. Like this one, as I said, it's called a next generation or next gen. It has two different houses in one. Literally, they have their own entryway, their own doorways on the outside. The main house has access to everything, but you can rent out that second house. And that's very, very important. So again, you don't necessarily have to have credit, but again, the number one thing that you're gonna have to do is say, hey, you're gonna get with yourself, figure out where you are financially right now, figure out where you are credit-wise right now, so pull your own credit. And again, once you contact me on, and you get into the program, we teach you how to check your credit. We'll check it for you. We'll see everything that you need to do to get in, if, as far as credit-wise. Again, we're in the master bedroom. Super nice master bedroom. See the mirror over there? Super nice mirror. Super nice. So, boom. Nice master bedroom that you guys can see. Super dope. Bed super fluffy. There's the maids, the cleaning crew just came or just left. I guess it was a stain in the front that they cleaned up. But so it's one of those things. I like this bed a lot, actually. But again, I'm trying my best not to fall in love, because it's all about a profit. It's all about making money. So everything that you do when it comes to thinking about a home, fixing your credit, don't fall in love. It's about the future stuff. So once you figure out where you are financially, once you figure out where you are credit-wise, you from there change the game. Now, example, say you're at a 700, say you're at a 400 score. You have all kind of charge-off and collections accounts. Most people have collection accounts, or what? the phone bill, the gas bill. It's always some stupid stuff. It's always some $18 collections. I've seen a $6 collection. I've seen, $125 collection. It's always these little things that's pretty much, harming you for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So those little things, you're going to have to figure out how to get those deleted, which is quite easy. Most collection agencies, again, this is for informational purposes, in order to truly collect on you in most states, most collection agencies are going to have to get your permission, number one. Number two, they got to go to a court and have a judge, give them a judgment of being able to collect from you, right? So in order to be able to collect from you, a judge and you have to agree, and then that collection agency has to be licensed and bonded as well, spend lots of money, and then you have to agree for them to take over the debt that originally wasn't with them. Obviously, that never happens. So most collection agencies do not have true jurisdiction to collect from you. It's like if you owe Tom money, at the end of the day, if you owe Tom money, Bill can't say, hey, I'll take over. Now you owe Bill. No, you got to approve that. A court and a judge has to approve that as well. So without those things, most collection agencies don't have proper jurisdiction to collect from you. So you can send certain letters to the physical collection agency challenging them, as well as to the credit bureaus, which I've done it. This is how I got my first house. I wiped out about 6, 7 different stupid collections that I had. And then later on in the mentorships and classes, I'll show you how to even not make that stuff get on your credit in the first place. You never were supposed to use your social security number for electric bills and phone bills and stuff like that, but that's another class. All that type of stuff that you do is supposed to be separate. I know everybody think that we have one big number called our credit number, our social security number that we use for credit, and we use that one number for everything. Right? So again, peace and blessings to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. All the YouTube people understand YouTube is a good platform for you guys to learn a lot of information. There's a lot of people on YouTube looking and searching for information. There's just always people on YouTube searching for lots of information. So I'm here to provide that for you guys. So understand this. Please thumbs up this video. I'm going to post this video later on either way. I'm going to try to stay here for about an hour. I'm really hungry. I've been fasting today. So if I can last another hour, I'm going to try. So I'm going to try to last it's probably 40 minutes because it's been 20 minutes so far. But I'm just going to give you guys a lot of information and a lot of inspiration of what you can and can't do. So understand, no matter what your current circumstances are with your credit or financing right now, you can buy a home. Here's why: because a home is secured by a lien. A home is secured by a deed, in a sense. The lender puts a lien in all these things, but the home it's a secured loan. If you don't pay, the home is right there. They can come get it at any time. So one of the easiest things to get would be a home because it's secured, by the deed. The house ain't going nowhere. So it's easy to qualify. You just got to get your credit in order and get your finances and get at least the last year of your taxes in order. Technically, say last year you only made $10,000, but this year you're on track to make $100,000. As long as you have your proper paperwork and stuff like that, which is why you don't have to go into it by yourself. You can go into a house with 3 to, I believe, up to 5 people. This is the lender here in Orange County, and which is the builder is called Lanier. Up to 5 people can be on a loan. So find 2 or 3 people who with good credit, and they can be on the loan and get you approved. So that's why this house has 2 different homes in one. It's called the next generation. As I said, come on, let's do the tour again. So this is see, this master bedroom is a whole apartment by itself. You understand? It's a whole apartment by itself. This is one side of the house, literally. One whole side of the house. Guess. Here's the guest room, and that's the guest bathroom. This is the laundry room that connects to the master bathroom and the master suite. As I was just sitting over there kicking it. Now I'm gonna take you guys over to part two of the house. Remember, it's two houses in this one house. So let's go in here. This is the living room. Super duper nice living room. That's the kitchen over there. Now, here's the other part of the house. This other part of the house has its own entryway, its own garage, its own bathroom. It's closed off from the other house. See, its own bedroom, its own little living room, another bedroom. So it's two bedrooms, your little closet in here, storage, food. It's like a pantry, and of course, garage. This is the garage just for this one part. It's a one-car garage. Understand? One-car garage. So this is a little condo. This is a little mini condo, literally inside of the house. And now, when you go here, this door has a lock and key. You know what I mean? You come out, boom, you're in another part of the house. So on something like this, you want to have 2 or 3, up to 5 people, up to 5 families can be put on the loan to help you qualify. So now, if you only made 10,000, 5 people making 20, that's 110,000. Now you qualify. This is what you see foreigners are doing. You understand? Foreigners are here with their family members. Foreigners stick together. Understand that. Foreigners with their family members, they stick together. We don't, we seem to be as Americans be conditioned to not stick together. The one thing that we do, as soon as somebody turn 18, you get kicked out. As soon as you turn 18, I want to move out. I want to pay my own bills and all this old crazy stuff, right? You know, there's family members living with you right now who would rather move out, pay a stranger rent than to pay you rent. You guys know that? There's family members right now, these are Americans we're talking about, right now, would rather pay a stranger rent or help bills. They'll rather pay a stranger rent and bills than to pay you rent and bills, and they're living with you right now. You guys know that? Because that's the American mentality. So foreigners seem to have a mentality of, hey, I've seen, again, I have neighbors. There's probably like three families in this house. They're foreigners. I talk to them all the time. We cool. They come together to buy a house. They all stick together. We as Americans are separated. White, black, red, brown, Democratic, Republican, red, blue, you know what I mean? Gay, straight. It's so many separations that we have. It's crazy. Young, old, you know what I mean? Smart, dumb, rich, poor. We got so many separations, it ain't funny. But either way, we don't understand that the power of coming together. You know what I mean? The power of coming together. It's a big power. So I believe this lender lets five individuals be put down on the loan to get approved. So 5 people should be able to qualify credit and financially wise for this house. Remember, this house has 2 different houses in one. I think this is a 5-bedroom, including the master suite. 5 bedrooms in this house, 2 kitchens. I think it's 4.5 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, 2 different houses in one. 3 families can live in here comfortably. The master suite is like its own little apartment. I think the master suite is 1,500 square feet, just the master suite. That's a nice size apartment. And then we have the guest house, the little guest area that I showed you. Its own room. So when you come together, understand, so credit-wise, of course, now if you can afford it singly or with with you and your partner, great. But it's not difficult to get approved for a place. But again, no matter where you are credit wise or financially wise, go to a place, find out what the criteria is. Let me give an example of what the criteria is here. Again, they just want to see 1 year of your tax returns to see what you made before. But the most important part is what you're currently making this year. And I think you got to have this lender anyway wants you to have a 680. I'm sorry, 660 credit score on average. So when it comes to buying a home, you and I know that there's 3 credit bureaus. What home lenders use is your highest score. So they check all 3 credit bureaus, and whichever one is your highest score, that's what they use towards your loan. You understand? So whatever your highest score is, that's what they use when it comes to buying a house. So, and then there's something that's called escrow. You're going to go right into escrow. What escrow is a third party where the buyer and seller meet up, and the escrow company checks out the buyer's information, make sure they legit. They check out the seller's information to make sure the house is legit, make sure there's no liens, make sure there ain't no problems that's going to come bite the buyer. They also check for the buyer to make sure they good, make sure their approval good, their loan is good. Escrow is designed to be the middleman to make sure everybody's good, to make sure when this thing closes, everybody's going to be happy. Everybody's agreeing and doing what they said that they're going to do. That's what escrow is. So now, when you're going to buy a house or build your credit or do anything in life, you should look for somebody in your life that's like escrow. Somebody who's going to make sure, help you get your ish together, help you build everything that you need to get approved. And then now you can go out and do what you need to do. That's what a coach, a mentor, a master class is all about. That's what Master Bible is all about. Just consider me the golden escrow, because I'm going to make sure both sides is going to be taken care of. So whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, understand the road to riches is going to always lead to real estate. Now, there's people can make millions and millions of dollars through credit. You can make millions and millions of dollars through investments. You can make millions of dollars through Amazon, through products, through all kinds of stuff. But to sustain, every billionaire has in their portfolio real estate. So I looked up and started in real estate. You know what I mean? I started in real estate. So let's talk about it. Remember, I had a 480 score. I had the most stupidest stuff on my credit. Again, I had the cable bill, little stupid stuff. I would move around. And, sometimes, you'll change your phone number. So when the creditor call you, you don't call. So they get a judgment. They put this little $60 bill, on your credit as a collection. That $60 collection is now stopping you from doing all kinds of tens to $100,000 opportunities. That little $60 thing is stopping you because of lack of information. So you got to sit and figure out where you are currently. So I sat and figured out where I was. I said, okay, I'm at a 480 credit score. I got about 6 or 7 stupid collections. One by one, I tackled them, whether I sent them letters and got them deleted or I paid for a deletion. You never pay a collection that's going to still show that it's a paid collection, because a paid collection or an unpaid collection on your credit is the same thing. So a paid collection or an unpaid collection on your credit is the same thing. Repetition. A paid collection or an unpaid collection on your credit is the same thing. It's all bad. It's all bad. Hey, you could have 10 collections, all $100 each, totaling $1,000, and you pay them all off, and then now they're going to report, hey, this collection is paid. Understand that collection agency just want money. Remember, they bought that $100 debt for probably $1.50. and they bought it illegally. So they don't really have the power to collect from you, but they convince you with the phone calls and the harassment and all these things for you to pay that money or come up with some way to negotiate. Hey, can you pay 50? Because they only spent $1 on it and they don't really own it. So technically, you don't really have to pay them. You know, you got into contract with the original lender or the original provider of that goods or services. That's who you're under contract with. So anybody else can't come try to collect on their behalf without going to court or without your approval. So there's paperwork that you can do to send straight to them to shake them up and send to the credit bureau to get that stuff deleted. Again, these are the things that the golden escrow is going to help you with. You know what I mean? So if you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to buy a car, if you're just looking to change your life at the end of the day, let's talk about it. If you're looking to change your life, you know, are you tired of just all the stuff that, we go through? Understand right now, it's some crazy times right now. There's a lot of crazy information out there, but nobody's taking the time to let us know, hey, no matter what's going on the news or no matter what's going on TV, you can do it. No matter what your current situation is, you're just going to have to, from this point on, start doing better. Yes, you used to be stingy. Yes, you used to only think about yourself. But right now, you're going to figure out what's best. You're going to figure out your credit. You're going to figure out your finances. And you're going to put all your information into doing what's best for you. As you lay one brick at a time, by the time you look up, because time waits for no man or woman. When you lay one brick at a time, by the time you look up, no matter what your current situation is, things are going to look better. Things are going to start doing better. So again, ain't nothing stopping you but you. You understand? So fix your credit. If you have collections, learn how to get those things deleted. Learn the laws of credit. This is what we do. Then you're going to figure out how much money that you need to qualify. How much money do I need to make to qualify for this? This is how to get a house on credit. Earlier we talked about how to get it on not if you don't have credit. You know what I mean? So, owner financing. Try to find houses that been for sale for the longest of time, ain't nobody bought them, and approach them. Obviously, you're going to have to dress up and be presentable. But approach them and say, hey, I'm really interested in buying your property. I just don't want to be able to use credit. I see that you have an option for owner financing. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about a way for you to be able to get rid of this property and win, and I'll be able to get into it and take care of it for you. I'll take this problem off of your hands. Again, you're going to have some sort of way of negotiating or have, the golden escrow, Master Bob and company, negotiate for you. I'm a master negotiator. So that's some of the things that I'm able to do for a lot of my clients once they get their credit up, once they get their mind right, number one. But once they get their credit up, get their finances in order, get their taxes in order, get all these things in order for them to go get these approvals, whether you're buying a brand new home or buying a seller financed home or owner financed home, there's so many options out there. Again, you can rent a house and then re-rent it to somebody else for a profit. It's so many ways. The name of the game is buy cheap, sell high. You buy the loan for cheap, you rent it out for a little bit more money. That's what Airbnb is all about. You got this place for cheap or for a lower cost monthly, and you're leasing and renting it out to people who need a place to stay for vacation and fun for a little bit more or a lot of bit more money. That's what Airbnb is. That's what Amazon is. Hey, I'm going to buy this product for $6, but I see everybody is selling it for $30. I'm going to sell it for $20. $14 profit. Everybody's loving you because you're saving them from spending the $30. So It's so many options, so many ways, but you got to start hearing that, hey, you got options. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I got options. I got options. I can do it. I got options. I can do it. And you got to start surrounding yourself with people who are willing to help you do it. You can't be around a bunch of stingy people or people who only think about themselves. You know what I mean? You got to get out of that American thing that we're taught. And you got to start thinking like a foreigner eventually. Foreigners think about how to start a business, how to include their family. Hey, let's us as a family go win together. That's how foreigners think. Americans don't think like that, unfortunately. You understand? Americans don't think like that. Americans are selfish. Americans are taught to do it by yourself. When you're 18, get kicked out or move out. You know, there's 5 kids. Say you got 5 kids. By the time all your 5 kids get 18, they all move out. They all go pay 5 separate rents. They all go pay, say, $2,000 each. That's $10,000 that your kids is paying outside of you now. When if y'all put that $10,000 together along with your mortgage that you paying, that's probably $13,000. You can go get approved for a neighborhood. You can go buy a neighborhood with that type of income. Think about it. But foreigners knew that. I have a lot of foreigners who there's 2 or 3 families came together to buy 1 or 2 properties together. There's an Asian person next door to me. They own next door, they own across the street, and 3 doors down. It's 5 different Asian families that came together to buy these 3 properties. We as Americans are gonna be arguing about who get the master bedroom. I pay more than you. I know, it's always this little back and forth, little BS that we do. But the devil has a hold upon Americans' minds. It is what it is. So again, I'm hungry. I said I was gonna try to last an hour. It's 37 minutes total. I'll be back. I'll be back. I gotta go eat. I gotta go get some food. I've been fasting today. Y'all see how good my skin is? I've been fasting today, drinking my teas, getting some sun, hanging out. I've been here an hour and a half. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go make some phone calls. I gotta go do some more negotiating. I gotta go try to get some different approvals for some different properties. I gotta go find some tenants. Here's how I go find tenants. I go to the local hospital and I ask them, I say, hey, I'm a property owner in the neighborhood of some really good properties. I want to be able to rent or lease or sublease to your nurses. I know you guys have a lot of nurses that you hire all the time that you bring in from other states and they need a place to stay. I have a furnished place for them. I hear some pictures. They're really nice. And I would love to post in here, for rent signs and give them information because this is going to help your nurses. They're going to say, for sure, post it. Yeah, definitely. You go to every hospital. You go to every school, colleges, clinics, especially those new ones that they're building. They're building new hospitals and clinics and all everywhere. They're also building new schools, those little tech schools that help you learn how to be to draw blood and all that stuff. You're gonna post in there too. Because these are people that are gonna be graduating and having jobs and needing a place. That's the number one source of getting a high paying uh, tenant. There's many other sources, but I just gave you a nugget. So again, this is Master Bob with at least 6 figures. There's nothing you can't do. Starts with your mind. Starts with your people who you're around. Who's encouraging you? Who's helping you? Or who you helping? Y'all supposed to inspire each other to do better. You're supposed to help each other do better. You're supposed to have a family mind and, a family mind. And you're supposed to be thinking about not just yourself sometimes. You got to think about the bigger picture. If you got bad credit, fix it. If your social security number jacked up, get you a private setup. You're able to file taxes on it so you can get it approved for a home. If you got child support, understand child support stops somebody from buying a house. If you're on child support, you can't buy a house because when escrow runs a check, they're going to say, hey, this person has a judgment against them. And that's a red flag. So it kind of prevents you from buying a house if you have a judgment called child support against you. But if you had a private setup, there's no child support on your private setup. And you file taxes on your private setup, now you can go buy a house with your private setup and don't have to worry about your social security number who have bad credit or child support or criminal records or all these negative things. But you got to keep that private setup clean. You got to keep that private setup clean. Very, very important. Don't make the mistakes that you made on your social, on your private setup. And over time, we'll show you how to fix your social. Fix your social. Have your social as the backup plan. Have good credit on your social. Very important. Just in case something else don't work out. Say you started a business and you have a business credit and something go wrong, your social security number can also personal guarantee to help you get money. Or your private setup can also personal guarantee and help you get money. But you're going to give yourself multiple opportunities. You're not just going to rely on one thing. Excuse me. You're not just going to rely on one thing. You understand? So thanks, YouTube. Understand YouTube is a good platform because YouTube gives you the ability to, get a lot of free information. You know what I mean? People post, people give you lots of knowledge on channels. Again, subscribe to the channel. Master Bible at least six figures. Subscribe to the channel. YouTube gives you a lot of different opportunity. But you have to give yourself opportunity and you have to make way for a new day. So again, I'm finna go get me something to eat. I'm starving. Like Marvin. It's Master Bob. So again, I'm gonna post this later on. So it's gonna be on the channel, don't worry. But again, remember, whatever your situation is right now, fix it. If you got bad credit, get you a private setup. Fix your credit. Fix your income. Hang around people that's going to tell you that you can. You know what I mean? You be an asset to them as much as they being an asset to you. Very important. As a foreigner, start having foreigners' mentality of sticking together. Remember, foreigners stick together. I have some literally, both of my neighbors are foreigners. I think 3 or 4 families came together to buy 3 or 4 houses next to me. They're foreigners. But, with Americans, we're going to be fighting over all kind of, you know what I mean? So have a foreign's mind if you can. When it comes to business, family oriented, sticking together, any means necessary. Start fixing all the things that's broken in your life, step by step, brick by brick. And by the time you look up, voila, you're going to be in your home. I had bad credit when I bought my first house. 6 months later, I was hanging around the right people. They was telling me what I should and shouldn't do. I started fixing credit. I started getting these stupid little things off of my credit. I had a bunch of stupid stuff on my credit. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please like. I had a bunch of stupid stuff on my credit back in the day. $60 collections, the phone bill, little stupid stuff. My mama put shit in my name I didn't know about. You know what I mean? I had to fix all that type of stuff. All that type of stuff was literally on my credit. I had to fix all that type of stuff. But slowly but surely, I fixed it. Within 6 months, voila, I was in a brand new house just like this. Less than a year later, $100,000 I was able to pull out. I had $250,000 in equity less than a year later because I bought a property. Real estate is one of the biggest vehicles for you to be wealthy. I don't care what your current situation it is. You can buy a house in no time. Just start fixing it. Stop doing what you was doing and do something different. Start hanging around people. Get yourself a mentor who's going to help you step by step into doing things better. getting yourself approved. That's it. That's it. That's it. There's a lot of you who have good credit right now. There's a lot of you who have good credit right now. You have good credit enough for you to go buy a home. Actually, you can go buy 2 homes right now under your credit and under your business credit. Here's your opportunity to go buy some properties. I'll show you how. Make some money. Leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Make some money. So again, this is Master Bob with at least 6 figures, 45 minutes and 55 seconds. I was trying to last 60 minutes. I'm starving. I'm feeling a little woozy. I've been fasting all day. See, I got that good skin. When you fast, and that's fasting from junk. That's fasting from stupid stuff. I drank some teas. I ate some oranges. I ate super light. I ate some healthy stuff today. Boom, drunk water. And it's already 6:13 p.m. I ain't ate nothing other than drinking water today. I gotta go eat. Master Bob with at least 6 figures. Remember, any questions, 949-543-0203. Super busy man, but make sure you have good energy. You understand? Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the channel. Please support the channel. $L6F. You know, because I like to help a lot of people. And I get it. You know, I have a lot of good folk in my community that support all the time. So salutes to you. Master Bob appreciates you. That's why I do a lot of stuff for you. Period. But again, donate to the channel. Support the channel. At least 6 figures. Remember, at least 6 figures is a state of mind. In order to exit poverty, you have to maintain and obtain what? At least 6 figures. So the term at least 6 figures is a metaphor of exiting poverty. Financial poverty, mental poverty, because a lot of us are in poverty in our minds. So I'm gonna show you how to break those chains. Like Moses, I'm gonna part the sea and I'm gonna help you exit and kill that fear. Unalive that fear. You're gonna unalive that fear, and with no fear, success is here. When there's no fear, I always know success is here. So again, it's Master Bob with at least 6 figures. I'll be back.